Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Vintage Collection Show right here on YouTube. Is that a good intro? Probably not. I'm here with my good buddies, Chris from Bantherskull, as always, and John Miko from the TVC Facebook group. I will say hello in a second, but just to introduce what this stream is all about, you're probably guessing what it's all about, because we finally had the news of the next HASLAB project, which is going to be for the Vintage Collection again, and it is the HASLAB Cantina, or the Mos Eisley Cantina. Spoiler alert, if anyone didn't actually know it was going to be that anyway. I've got my two guests on with me today because I want to know their thoughts on it. I made my video just the other day, giving you a sort of a roundup of what it's all about and my general thoughts or whatever, but I want to know these two guys' thoughts on it. We're going to sort of ask what their general thoughts of it, and then we're going to go through all of the details and talk about each part individually and all that kind of good stuff. Just to let you guys know, I've had a bit of a day of it today. I'm not feeling 100% in myself, feeling a bit groggy. And also I spent the morning, or my wife did, with my son in the accident and emergency because he tore his Achilles tendon playing soccer.
Soccer.
So he is now on crutches for 3 weeks. So that's been my day. We're here to talk about TVC. We're here to talk about the Vintage Collection. And I'm just going to say hello to the chat very quickly before I speak to you guys, if that's okay. So we've already got 144 people watching, which is just completely nuts. And people have been commenting since 7 o'clock. Bruce Damon said, wonder what Victoria's take on it will be. Not she's on the stream, but it would be nice to hear her point of view about Tonica time. And it would have been nice. And I did offer, but unfortunately, Victoria was busy on this occasion, so she couldn't join us, because if there's one person I did really want on the stream to talk about the Tonica sisters, it had to be Victoria, really. So I hope you're well, Victoria, and you're catching up with the stream another time. We've got Lil Pookie, we've got Daniel Chart, we've got Cisco Deer, we've got Liberty Prime 1982 says going to be Mr. Negative and say the price point is way too high and it badly needs lights and sounds. We will get onto all of this kind of stuff throughout the stream. Don't worry, buddy, and we'll be giving you all our opinions on it. We've got Ray Dunkley, Peak Obi-Wan, Keith Belavia, we've got Martin Footer, Stephen Novak. How you doing, buddy? We've got Paul Stevenson, straight out of Coruscant, Clone Troop 211. We got Stu, the Universal Toy Collector. If you don't watch his movie quiz on a Sunday night, then you really need to. It's awesome. We've got Keith again. We have Des T, Shakes the Clone. We have GA. Who else? We've got Delvian Seek. Good to see you at MCM the other week, buddy. We've got Jeff Russell, big supporter of the channel. Great guy, Jeff. Jeff, good to see you here, buddy. We have Better Ray Bob, Brett on Fet. I'm sure you're camping. Oh, yeah. Sup, everybody. I'm on a family camping trip and still watching. I'm such a degenerate. That's not very nice on us. Come on. You know. TVC Mackin, how you doing, buddy? Bradley Harvey. We've got the guys from a long time ago. Martin, how you doing, buddy? Larry Hines. Wow, loads of people. Trevor Ritchie, Adam Kennedy, Toys of the Way is here. We've got Chris Swansky is in 2 places. We've got Den King. Jared, how you doing, buddy? I think everyone is hungover from yesterday. And we've got Jumpy McClunky. We've got Sakic Score 76. And we've got loads of people. And I'm going to be here forever, so I do apologise. Neil Lowry, Chocolate Chip, Adam Berry, how you doing, buddy? And yeah, I'll try to read through some of your comments as we're going through, but I really do want to get these guys talking about the HASLAB. Of course, the TVC HASLAB is the Mos Eisley Cantina. And I'm going to go, first of all, sorry, Chris, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing very well. I wish the HASLAB had a few more backers right now, but otherwise I'm doing very well.
Absolutely, yeah. John, good to see you, buddy. How are you doing? Thanks for coming along.
What's up, guys? Hey, I'm enjoying myself. That's how I'm doing.
All right. Okay, so first off, first impressions, guys. I'm going to go to Chris first. Overall, first impressions, overview of the HASLAB. What do you think?
I'm passing. Hard pass. No, this is why I'm disappointed that it hasn't already backed. This is my dream project. The barge, that was definitely a dream project, but the barge almost kind of felt to me like something that should have happened at some point in the history of the line. Maybe as a smaller Kenner thing, it should have happened. The Cantina in this form with those certain figures we're getting, that's a dream, because it doesn't seem like anything that would ever, really be passable by, traditional retail and things like that. So this is for HASLAB, this is my first true dream project, and I couldn't be more excited about it.
Yeah.
And
standout part of it that you're especially happy about?
First and foremost, obviously, I'm not going to bury the lead. It's the Tonica sisters. That's absolutely amazing. The Tonica sisters, getting a good wooher that can do the, get out of here. 86 of them droids out of that joint. I don't know if you know that expression, Tim. 86. It's from it means kick them out of your joint. It comes from Manhattan. It was actually, I think it was a speakeasy, and the back entrance was 86th Street. So 86 them from the joint. Okay. Get them out of here.
I'll remember that. I'll probably never use it, but I'll remember it.
always learning something with tuna.
The thing of this, John, the thing of this, I know that you'd probably never do that story, so I probably messed it up royally. But I know you don't know, so you think I'm really smart. It probably wasn't 86th Street or anything like that. So,
and John,
I just like to sound smart.
Do you know what, John? You just said that word there, and you reminded me. I forgot to do it.
Andy and the tuna. Andy and the tuna.
I wish that said John and the tuna.
Well, if John was a good friend, he'd legally change his name to Andy, but he doesn't think much of you, Tim. Okay,
yeah, no, I totally agree.
And just the other thing is the modularity. Perfect. And the one thing I feel bad about is if you don't watch the video, if you're just going off the pictures, if you didn't watch the live stream, the pictures don't tell you how modular this is. It's not just, I can take this wing and do that. Each alcove comes apart, then the parts of the alcove come apart. This is the dream modularity. If you don't have room for it, you don't have to worry about it. You could just display it. You have all these, the modularity is off the charts. And in fact, one of the things I'm particularly excited about is, I ordered a second set. I ordered one deluxe and one standard set.
Yeah.
So far.
Oh, we'll get into that. What I'm going to do with that extra set of alcoves, they go right in Jabba's palace because they're very similar to the alcoves. Yeah. So I get my second set of figures. Alcoves go there. The extra bar I'm going to set up for the Mandalorian. The extra entrance I'm going to use as the bandstand for the Biff band, because we don't have really. I'm sure we can get into that. That bandstand was not on set at Elstree Studios. It's not part of the footprint of the Cantina.
Yeah.
So everybody stop complaining that there's no bandstand, because it was not there.
If you do look at the footprint of the Cantina, the band where they traditionally place them is just an empty alcove, isn't it?
Right.
Next to the bar. So,
but it wasn't physically there at Elstree. They ran it at Hollywood.
They filmed it somewhere else. Yeah.
Yeah, in the pickup shots. So did that become, because of the modularity too? I'm sure I could plug it in. But then what I'm thinking about ordering another one is, the hero alcove. Well, I want to set it up for the Greedo encounter. That's probably going to be my primary display. But I also want to set up with Ben, because we got the Ben, the Luke, the Han, the Chewie coming. I want to set up that little meeting. So now if I buy another set, I just pop off an alcove and I can set that up anywhere in my display. I am so excited about this. I really don't think people appreciate what we're getting. And there's more I want to get into, but I don't want to monopolize this intro. We got to kick it to
no.
at some point.
And you know, like, people have got their opinions about things, and that's absolutely fine. People have their opinions. You know, I welcome everyone's opinions, but just listen to you there, Chris. You know, you're obviously passionate about displaying loose 3 3/4 inch figures.
Right.
And for you, therefore, this is a dream item because it's going to enable you to do lots of different things. Somebody that's maybe a carded collector or just looks at TVC from afar and thinks it's maybe a glorified Barbie thing or something, I don't know. But, you know, this for you is like this is going to enable you to display so many of your figures that you've collected over the years. And, you know, that's just basically what it is. Like, you know, inbox collectors aren't really going to appreciate it, are they? Because that's the whole point of this particular HasLab.
But I do have commentary for them, but I don't think it's right for the show just yet.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's good. Good overview. I like it. Miko, what about you, buddy? What's your overall impressions of the Cantina?
Yeah. I mean, it's great to finally see it coming to fruition. I mean, I'll just echo everything Chris was saying. You know, as you started hearing speculation of it and obviously all the rumors and whatnot, I was thinking.
I just want to reply to Daniel Chart. He said the hero alcove and the Greedo alcove are the same alcove. I know, that's my point. I want to be able to set it up with Greedo and Han in one display. And then because it's modular, if I buy another set, pop it out, and I can set that same alcove. I know it's the same alcove for both scenes with the hero figures. So I want to display that same alcove 2 different ways. The modularity allows me to do that. So I will have like an isolated display of just that alcove with the heroes. My cantina is going right there, right where that X-Wing shelf. That's where it's going. So on that shelf, it's going to have Han and Greedo. But then I'm going to pop off a second alcove somewhere else in here. You know, I have more stuff over here. That's where I'm going to set up the hero encounter.
Can we please highlight Star Wars Scott Pat's comment at 512? Yeah, you're getting all house. You're
the Corvette too. If I'm dream house, I need the Corvette. I need the camper. Give me the whole thing. Everything.
Return to Tatooine.
Yeah.
Does it mean all this?
What would be the Barbie equivalent of the dewback?
Oh man,
some horse or something that she rides out.
A pony. Yeah.
I want the Corvette.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I need the Corvette.
Yeah. Hey,
I just need to bring this up here.
Return to Tatooine.
Last call with Troy Pacelli, the Tonica sisters. Hi, Troy. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, absolutely. The Tonica sisters. That is going to please a lot of people. Thanks for the super chat, buddy. I appreciate that. Sorry, John. You go ahead, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I was just saying too, right? When you start hearing Cantina, many people know I love Return of the Jedi. I love the first 30 minutes. And if I can leverage those alcoves for other things, that would be great. But that's very secondary, obviously. But I'm excited for everything Chris spoke to. The figures, it speaks to not only modern collecting and the advancements in figure design and engineering and sculpting. There's character debuts we're gonna see, aliens, and as Tim, you always say, the weird, right? Man, there's so much. Even I think Kenner vintage fans can enjoy this play set. It can be used in so many different ways. I agree too. The modularity of it looks pretty. It's very flexible. Yeah, would you want to see a whole cantina kind of housed in itself? Yes and no, right? If you have space constraints or really want to show it in a more visible way, I think they tried to figure out the best way to do it.
Can we talk about that, John, for a second? Just envision the cantina. How do you appreciate it? Put it on a shelf. How do you appreciate it? You're looking at the outside. You know what I mean? Right. That's kind of the problem with the cantina. It's kind of designed as a top down, but that's not how we display our figures. We don't display top down views because you can't see it unless you put it on the floor. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You need to be able to make it a horizontal or shelf installable display, and that's what they did for us.
Yeah. I mean, look, we're gonna go over all the details and we'll talk about the carded figures. I have another thought about carded collectors and how this could appeal to them as well. But, I think it's creative how they've also given us capabilities to add lighting. That's something I've spoken to them about. Maybe we'll get more into that later on, but I'm kind of realistic in some ways. I'm not expecting it anymore, but at the very least, if they can design it in a way that allows us to do these things, then I'm all for it. And it looks like they did it in a way that makes it very easy for people, even if they're not, electrical engineers. So yeah, I'm super excited for this. And again, just even the figures and the just how advanced they look, how definitive they look. I just can't wait to dive into this with all the photos.
Yeah, we're going to look at some of them photos in a bit, and some of the photography they've done with it is that's what sells it for me. I probably won't be able to ever create it as good as looking as that, but I know that I could if I wanted to, and I had the time and what have you. But yeah,
if I could say
some of the photos.
Yeah, and if I could just say, right, they're working on things they talked about that they were working on, right? Like the timing of things, and what I mean by that is they revealed pipelines that coincided with this, right? I think they might have, obviously they've been doing that, right, with the Ghost and I think some other things, but this one felt more planned in a way and coinciding with it right up at the front of it all. So it's just what a solid live stream or whatever stream that was the other day.
And it's not going to stop there, is it? Because they did say that, it's the return to Tatooine or whatever they described it as. And, they said they want to save stuff for other live streams and things like that, which is, their prerogative to do that. I would say, and we might get into this a little bit later on, but I'll just touch on it now. I feel if they want to really push it over the line, then maybe at some point they might want to sort of just, because when's the next big thing? SDCC, right? So they might have the model of it there, I guess, for people to see like they did with the Ghost.
Yeah, they had it.
But
they had it already.
If there's not another reveal, because they said over the next weeks and months, we will show more stuff that's going to, help with this. That could be more figures, it could be play sets, it could be beasts, it could be vehicles, it could be anything, that could go with it. I just feel maybe, to help give it a push, you might want to just pipeline a couple more things. I don't know, but I understand why they didn't do it all in that live stream. I mean, hitting us with all the mains it's a pretty big thing. All of them at once. Obviously, we've already got Leia, but the ones that are in the cantina, C-3PO would be nice. But knowing that we are 100% going to be getting a Luke, Han, and Ben all new, all three of those are all new, and then a retool, partial tool Chewie.
The partial tool, but the important part is the new tool, the legs. The legs are going to be new. That's the important. If they're going to replace anything on our existing Chewbacca, the legs were the most important thing to replace.
Did they say the legs, Chris?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh.
New portrait and new legs. So
right. I just said that. I thought I heard them say new head, and face for some reason.
Yeah,
that's the same thing.
Yeah.
So the legs as well. Yeah, because he needs the new hips, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. That the existing one. Would I like hinged wrists on him and maybe resculpted hands? Yes. But if they're only going to do one thing, getting a new lower body on that Chewbacca is going to be perfect, and I will be buying a lot of it when it comes out. Johnny Pallets Miko, we know you're buying a lot of it. You don't need to. One thing I do. One thing I feel bad about. one thing I feel bad about is, there was not a lot of, we didn't get a lot of warning about this live stream. Basically Wednesday, hey, it's coming on Friday. Friday here, in the northern part of the United States, in basically it's not literally summer, but it's basically summer. Friday, a sunny Friday. I don't think a lot of people watch the video. I think they're looking at the photos and stuff like that. And I hope everybody realizes we're getting all, like Tim just said, we're getting all new figures of Luke, Han, and Ben. And I'm going to make sure that message gets rebroadcast again, because I don't think people picked up on. There's people that should have texted me. I know there's people in my circle that should have texted me, and I didn't get text, so I know they don't know, because it was kind of buried in the pipeline of this pretty epic reveal, and they're just reacting to the official images and what's out on Facebook and Instagram. They don't know this big piece yet, and we collectively, the community, needs to rebroadcast that, because one of the things I think why it's not back yet is that Hasbro was driven off.
Did you want to speak to this? What thoughts on why it's a little bit slow out of the gate? Yeah,
because Hasbro's run off so many OT collectors. I mean, this isn't an opinion. This is a fact. I know what my user population is. I've watched them all slowly flitter away. They say the same thing. I don't care about the stuff they're making. They don't care about me, and they've left the hobby. I think it's slow out of the gate because Hasbro's run too many of those people. A lot. They have run a lot of those people off. So hopefully we can get the message out to them. I will be texting some of them, but that's a finite amount to make sure we can pull them back in. So everybody else in the chat that wants to see this back, we got to reach back out to those OT collectors that have left the hobby, especially with Luke, Ben, and Han and Chewbacca being there. And another thing, people, I've heard, people say, I'm not backing this because, Hasbro doesn't show us love on their own. That's 3 100% newly tooled figures. We in other words, we're funding the line through the HasLabs, and Hasbro's sticking in their pocket and not doing anything extra. That's 3 100% newly tooled figures that are announced in one live stream. They're showing us the love. Stop it. Don't send a silent protest by not backing this. You will basically kill any momentum TVC has right now, which is a lot. So no silent protest, please, on this.
Yeah, I think we better talk about the price of it right now, because difficult times at the moment for people. I've seen it a lot. I'd love to back it, but I just can't afford it. And I can kind of see where Hasbro's kind of tried to help out on that with the two offerings. So it's like, not everybody's got the space, and not everybody can go the full thing. So here's this, light version, but you still get the figures. That's really important that they did that. They, you should never gatekeep those figures or firewall those figures in the deluxe version. That would have been the biggest own goal ever. So they've done that, but there's some people there saying it's far too expensive and things like that. And I'm not going to sit here, and I said it in my video, I'm not going to sit here and say that it's not expensive, because it is expensive. It is expensive. But from my point of view, and from as Chris just been saying there, and all of these OT fans that have left the hobby, this for us is what we've been waiting for. So if there is ever a time that I'm going to really dip my hand in my pocket for something, it's going to be this. I don't like paying lots of money for things. Nobody does. But the fact that, I think if it hits that 17K, then I'm going to be a lot more comfortable with it. If we don't hit the final figure, for example, then it starts getting to me a bit, the price, because obviously the value depletes slightly. But
no, it doesn't.
That's just my opinion.
No, it doesn't, Tim.
Go, Chris. You go.
If you don't appreciate, if you've backed this and it just limps over the line, you've basically hit a gold mine, because you do not appreciate how rare those tonic assisted figures. John, what do I say? The Boston comes out. I can't help it. Tonic assisted.
The tonic sisters.
Get me a gin and tonic. Get them sisters over here.
I know what you're going to say. From a like investment point of view or from a value point of view, there's never, and I said this in my video, there is never a cheaper time to buy a HASLAB than at the time that it's going.
It's not only that people,
that it's
people
running.
do not appreciate. If this hits 8,000, I don't think people appreciate the scarcity of a Star Wars figure that only has 8,000 units. That is gold. I'm willing to bet there are more vintage yak faces out there in the population than there will be tonic. If it only hits 8,000, then Tonica sister figures. That is gold. I don't like to do this stuff to pat yourself on the back, but I wrote an article in 2014 calling attention to the unpunched Wave 2 figures. I'm pretty sure I'm the only person that in the community that said the article is called "They're Rare and You Probably Don't Care." I said these things are scarce, and this is just a carded variant, Tim. It's not a unique figure. Just a carded variant.
There is quite a small amount of people that care about those. I'm probably one of them, to be fair. But
and so I said that they were available for around $20 to $30 on eBay at the time when I wrote this article in 2015. John, I don't know if you want to. Can you share what you sold your Cody for? Do you mind? I know I'm putting you on the spot.
During COVID, I sold an unpunched mint Cody for $1,200.
So I called this. Again, I don't like doing this stuff. I'm just pointing out. I called this in 2014 when they were going for $20 or $30, and John sold one for $1,200. Yeah. If only 8,000 Tonica sister figures get made, it won't be the first day. It won't be day one. In time, those are $1,000 figures. Book it.
But I think
so. You're look at it both ways, Tim. If you have an extra set,
I completely understand that. But what I mean is, from my point of view, let's just say I'm just going to buy one and I'm going to open it all. You know, I don't care about the value at that point for that type of person. And for if that was me, then obviously the value gets greater the more I'm getting for my money. That's what I mean. So
buy a second one and sell the figures. Pay for your other one.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Right. But the people, we get this all the time. People, I don't collect for value. I collect for for the enjoyment, and everybody does. But don't tell me you don't get a thrill of having a friend over and going, see that right there? I could sell that for $800 right now. Don't tell me you don't get a thrill out of that. Every collector does. And every time you guys, if you guys show off your collections to your friends, the non-collecting friends, what's the one question they always ask? What's the most valuable?
Yeah.
And isn't it fun to point to this stuff? So even if you're gonna open it and display it, isn't it fun to say, look at that figure right there? That
and also I was actually having a conversation with my buddies on WhatsApp that let's just say it did just trickle over 8,000. Even a loose Tonica sister will be quite a bit of money.
I'm telling you,
look at like some of the loose figures now. Like
I'm telling you,
crazy.
There will be more of these in the world than Tonica sister figures if it only hits 8,000. I'm pretty confident in that.
You're just flexing now, Chris.
No, this is the flex. I told you that was the flex.
What's your hat? Oh,
Beamer.
I told him, thank God he didn't buy a Mercedes. I would have unfriended him. I will say too, and I don't know if we can speculate on this, but this is a first with all new tooling, specifically for the HASLAB.
Yeah.
Within the HASLAB, right?
Yeah.
And we can't, deny that. Like that's expensive. That is expensive investments into this. So
we all talk about, we wanted one of the things all of us on here, and I'm sure the comment section as well, talk about, we want that figured pack. We do not appreciate how much small batch figures cost. They are ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
At that level, I'm pretty sure if it only hits 5,000, the cost to Hasbro is probably around $50 a figure. So that's why, that's where the price comes in. They got to figure if it only does 8,000, that's $150 in figures, and you're paying $250 for a pretty epic playset.
Yeah. Is it really going slow right now? I mean, didn't the the Razor Crest? I'm sorry, the Ghost take 3 days to back?
I honestly can't remember. We need Lindquist.
I was trying to
Where's
find
Lindquist?
that website.
Yeah.
Where's that? Where's that website where that guy has all the got all the stats? But I'm curious to where we're pacing with that. Obviously, we only have a 31-day window or whatever it was, and if I could just add some more random thoughts to this is 47 years in the making, right? 46 years since the line came into existence. Like this is going to bring people back, I hope.
But it's going to take some advocacy on all our part, because again, these people have left. They've left. I could probably. I'm not gonna give people's discuss names. I can never say that, right? Or their their Facebook names. But I can probably, off the top of my head, I could probably think of 24 people that were very active members of the community that are gone because they are very OT people, and just there has not been the OT love in the line. I mean, we get a lot of OT product, but it's not newly tooled.
Someone just said the Ghost got to 8K in 91 hours. I mean, I just think there's something to be said about vehicles. Vehicles get people really excited.
Yeah, and there was as Chris has said, we've been asking for the Tonica sisters, for example.
Oh no!
What happens when the host drops his connection? We can make fun of Zach.
Get your kids off the internet.
Let's make fun of all the funny things Tim says.
Colors, favorite,
all those extra U's, all that weird British slang, Chevy Chase for face. How do they get there?
Well, this whole thing back to Tatooine, I certainly want us to talk about that too, or the return to Tatooine, and definitely want to wait till Tim gets back to us. But anyways, if somebody knows that website,
I just want to say, Larry Hines pointed out that there's a certain segment of the community that's throwing a hissy fit because it's not OT. I don't give it.
There he is.
You know what happened there?
No.
We
tell the story. No. We tell the story.
Did you spill a drink on something?
You spilled your Moscow Mule on your router. You drop out. You don't get to tell the story.
Plugged in. Oh my god! Can I just say quickly? We've got 392 people watching. That is a record. That is a record for this channel. That is unbelievable. We didn't even need Jason on the stream to get the numbers. Jason, if you're watching, I do apologize for that, guys. Honestly, my power was so my Mac shut down. And good job it is a Mac, because if it was Windows, I'd be another half an hour waiting for the laptop to boot up. So, no, sorry about that, guys. No, what I was going to say was that basically, of course, this, we've been asking for the Tonica sisters for so long, and a cantina for all of our cantina aliens to go into. The Ghost was asked for, but it was, it's got a lot of new fans, a lot of new collectors, and it's a vehicle. It had a lot going for it. Plus, we were deprived of any figures from the Rebels at all. And because you're pretty much getting all of them with it, it was a good proposition. This, I can kind of understand why some people might be a little bit apprehensive about this, because, maybe they don't have all of the figures for it,
Tim, can you highlight Kiwi Man's comment from... So was that 10:34 your time? I believe I'm saying this. This Tim, we were taking the piss out of you. I think I got the British expression correct.
Thank you. That's a swear word, Chris. You're not allowed to say that.
No, it's not. John takes 10 pisses every live stream. What are you talking about?
I'm wearing a Depends now, forever forward because of you. Thank you.
I was taking a sip, John. That's not fair.
We just broke 400. 403 people were watching them. That is just nuts. That's just crazy. That's just nuts. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. And we're going to try and get through this. I'm going to share my screen again because we're going to start going through some of the finer details of it. And now
I'm not ready to move on from John in his diaper though.
You're jealous. You're jealous.
Do you remember Dirty Rotten Scoundrels?
Yeah.
Remember that movie, John? When Steve Martin goes, "May I go to the bathroom?" Of course. He goes.
Oh dear. Right, so we're currently at 3,509. Let's refresh. 3,512. So it's going up. Would I like it to be around 5,000 right now? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we'll just have to see what's going on with it. So here's the this is the base offering. So this is what you get with the base offering. Let's just go through some of the images here. Just some of the details. I did mention that it could look a little bit clean. It could do with maybe a wash on it. Maybe, I don't know whether this is, who knows what they're going to do with it between these images and what we actually get. But I do like all the, the actual, you can just see some of the details, the cracks and stuff like that. So they've got some of that on it.
What is that right there? Is that air conditioning?
That thing there?
Yeah, what is that? Somebody educate me, please.
That's the droid detector, isn't it? Isn't it, Chris?
Right.
It's the droid
detector. Wait. What is John confused about? I'm about to.
I don't even know what that is. I don't even know.
It's the droid detector, dude.
I don't know.
Oh my god! I'm driving to Springfield right now. I'm gonna.
I see a droid crossed out. See, man, you nerds.
How do you not know that? It goes off. It literally lights up right as they walk in.
I
don't say lights up, Chris, because this one doesn't light up. So
nor should it, Tim. Nor should it.
I'm gonna watch that part again. I know, everyone flame me in the comments. It's fine.
Like, some of the detail here is just nuts. And he talked about that little keyboard thing, which probably nobody has ever noticed before, which is great. But I'm just loving all of this here. And like I said in my video, these images haven't got any figures in it at the moment, but we'll get onto the ones that do. But things like this always look better when you've actually got your figures in there. So
I don't want to self-promote Tim again, but can you go to Bantha Soil for a second?
Your website?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah, 2 seconds. I'll have to stop sharing this screen and then share the other one. Yeah.
So if you click on that Scene It over there on the left. And then click on Star Wars.
Not The Empire Strikes Back, no.
No. And then guess which one here?
The Yavin medal ceremony. Yeah, I think I've got the navigation. It's a good navigation, Chris, on the website.
So if you scroll down, obviously these are the stills from the movie. But if you keep scrolling, then I tried to replicate them with action figures that we have, just so you can see. So if you click on any of those, you can see how it's going to look if you can envision it. And this is with the crappy cardboard background. You can just envision this with, when you put all these figures in there, what's going to look like in this environment. And if you close out of that one, scroll down. So there's look at
that. You got that one perfect.
and I had to use the, if you see there, I had to use the OTC Wooher with the grubby hands because it didn't have the drink in it. You can see the black all of it. If you look at 11 right there, John, what's that to the left of Luke? What is that thing?
I gotta watch A New Hope again. Apparently, Jesus.
And then if you keep scrolling a little bit,
Here's a good one because we're getting a new.
That's one. Yeah. Being able to recreate that with the new Woohooer will be just, and the new Nabrin leads, hopefully.
Nice, dude.
So it's just, what you can just see like the figures. There's one in there. If you scroll back up, number, I think it's just down. I'm sorry, you went too fast. Number 12, I think.
I've clicked on that one.
Oh no, sorry. Okay. Sorry, my apologies. Scroll down a little bit more. It's with number 23. So the Tonica sisters are actually just to the left of this shot. So
yeah, they are.
The boy, the droids,
and also your number one shot. Who should be in the left hand there?
Arleal Shoes, if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah. So that big gap there, he's missing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And then one more I just wanted to highlight really quick if we could. Sorry that we're using the old Bith band there. It would be number 24. I think I saw it. 24.
One?
The fact that this figure does not have ball jointed elbows ruins this shot. Shoulders. Once we can actually have him point, this shot's going to be perfect with the new Woohooer.
Nice.
Yeah. And hopefully some new Sand Troopers at some point would be nice as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I used this, and I think I borrowed some of your images as well when I was doing my figures people will need for a cantina if a cantina comes out in the future. That's what I was doing that for.
26. Image 26. You have no idea how much the hinged wrists on the new Greedo will help this shot right here.
Yeah.
Because he's actually kind of angling it down. So the hinged wrists are going to make this shot super accurate.
And most of the figures that we've just looked at in these these images are the ones we're getting. Like,
Right, exactly. A lot of hero shots. Or several of them, obviously, Dr. Evazan, Ponda Baba, Bom Vimden, they exist already in TVC.
Hi, Nick, mate. How you doing? Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, absolutely. Let's just stop sharing that for a second. So we talked about the cantina and the fact that it's modular, which is great. We talked about the deluxe and the standard, how that's going to be, depending on how much space you've got and also how much funds you've got. You've got those two different options. So I'm not too sure if I will be able to display the whole deluxe. I want to be able to, but it will be probably more butterflied out, I would think, because I don't think I've got the space for, because the other thing I wanted to mention was with these images on the site. Let me just share the page again. With the images here, I don't really get a sense of scale with it. It's only when you saw it in the live stream on the table in front of the people presenting that you thought, wow, that, like, especially the full thing, you thought, wow, that is a hefty bit of kit. It is big.
It's one of those things. I'm telling you, I'm not, and I know I'm trying to sell it. It's one of those things where the people that skip this are going to be so sad they did when it ships, and it starts seeing it, in people's collections and in the photography. They're gonna kick themselves.
I can't wait for the photography. I can't wait for it. What some people are going to do with it. Let's just want to bring this Alexander L. Thank you, buddy. Dioramas on Etsy are super expensive. I love this for the toy photography potential. Yeah, because a lot of people, I've heard a lot of other people say, I could just 3D print that. And then I've seen some people say, well, 3D printing the plastic or the resin that it uses can I don't know, degrade quicker or something. I don't know. It might take. I don't know. That might be just something I've heard that's completely wrong. But John, you've got a 3D printer. Could you produce something as good as that if you really wanted to? How much would it cost you for the printer and the resin?
Well, I just got into it and I spent $600 on the printer, the washing station, and the curing station. That's just for, to get started on it all. The resin can cost anywhere from $25 to $100 a bottle. And I mean, as long as you do everything right, it'll cure correctly. But you're going to need somebody you're going to have to buy those files if you can't design them yourself. So you're looking at a pretty hefty sum of money to do all that.
All right.
Can you bring up Dystopian Playground's comment from 1045?
I will do. I just want to say thanks again, Alexander. Yeah. Thank you, buddy, for the super chat. What time? Sorry, Chris.
It should be. I think it's 10:45 your time. If you're plus 5 hours.
Also,
yeah, got it.
The skill to paint everything and all that stuff.
Yeah. This is so right. First of all, if the floor was molded, if we had a molded floor with this, it ruins the modularity because then you can't display it how you want to. You could get a pretty good, it looks like they're just using a sheet of vinyl for the floor here. That's a few dollars to replicate what they have here. Moreover, to the lighting point, if you want to light those tables, I wouldn't want to be drilling under the playset. But if I'm buying my own floor for a couple bucks, I don't mind poking a hole in that to light the tables, which is with John's help, which is hopefully something I will be doing once this comes out. So this comment is so right.
Yeah, because the tables have been, they mentioned this, didn't they? The tables have been created in such a way where they've got a little lamp on them that's clear. And then that, so I've got these little LEDs, they're little round like balls that you pull the tab out, which like activates them basically. I'm not too sure how long they last particularly, but they're not expensive. You can buy a pack of 50 for, I don't know, not much at all. I use them for my forge that I have, so to light up the forge. So you can get those on, little thing just sits underneath each table and what have you. So you can do that. Starting to think that Ron Chris was on the Hasbro live stream.
I haven't said a thing.
This is the thing.
Wait.
Yeah.
I haven't said a thing about cups nor game board cardboard quality. I haven't said anything about those two things.
Yeah, we haven't said cups yet. Just to be clear, everybody, you get a lot of cups with this HasLab, right?
If I can mention for a minute, so we had this event a few months back at a local toy shop, Red 5 Toys and Collectibles. Tuna was there where Steve came and he brought his barge and he did a tall toy tales. See, Steve, you can say it, you can do it. Chris actually was there and we were talking about things and I mentioned something I'd want and I was like, well, it'd be nice if you could in vehicles and play sets. And this was a tall ask, I think. Design them in a way that, people who want to add lights or whatever sounds can do it. And he chuckled at me and I went back and I was like, why was he laughing? Was he laughing because that's like a ridiculous ask, or maybe it's something they're trying to figure out and incorporate? So if that was the case, hey, hats off to them for trying to forward thinking for people who do want to customize things.
Yeah, absolutely. Alexander L, again, thank you, buddy. He says a lot of folks are saying they can 3D print it. I don't have the time to 3D print and paint something like this. I'd pay $400 and get painted. Never mind the effing Tonica sisters.
Yeah.
See, I am one of these people that's very I've said it lots of times. I'm not the most talented person when it comes to art and things like that. I'm rubbish at painting things. I'm not very creative when that comes. I'd rather buy something off Ian Butler that's, that he's 3D printed and painted for me, basically. So that helps him because he's making a bit of money and there's lots of other people in the community that I guess do that kind of thing. I know that you've bought some like heads and stuff, haven't you, John? Like Fozek's head and things like that.
Yeah.
And those aren't cheap, are they? So,
No.
you know, I am kind of in the realm of I need a company to like produce something for me. Unfortunately, because I can't produce it myself. Now, there's people like Daniel Chart who have made their own cantina out of various materials, and it looks flipping awesome. And they've been able to, have their cantina for ages. But unfortunately, I just can't do anything like that. So, yeah.
Well, there's people who can't make YouTube videos as well as you, Tim. So.
There probably is actually. Smash Blaster says, Smash Blaster, thanks for the super chat, buddy. He says, I hope websites like the Big Bad Toy Store could let some of us do a down payment pre-order to give us more time to collect the funds. Yeah, this is one of them things. Didn't Big Bad Toy Store get the Razor Crest? They bought a bunch of Razor Crests, didn't they?
But it was more. It was more than the retail price.
It was a lot more than the retail. That's the problem with it. It's almost like you're paying interest on it to do that. So that might work for somebody because people get loans all the time, don't they? With interest, that might work for some people. But yeah, that if Big Bad Toy Store are going to be buying, I don't know, 20 HASLABs or more to sell like that, then they're going to be jacking the price up 100%. Otherwise, it's nothing in it for them, basically. So.
Yep.
But I'm pretty sure they did that with the
yeah, it was like $600 or $700, I thought. Or
oh, really?
Maybe 500. I forget. No, the Razor Crest was $350, right? So
yeah,
I think it was a few $100s. Yeah, like 500.
What I want to do now is just move on to the figures. So we'll talk about figures. Figures. Are they in this bit?
Change, Tim.
Oh no, here we are.
Yeah, you got to go a ways on. Yeah,
there we go. Look at that.
There's your 100 cups.
Yeah. So there's Wuha in a pretty cool pose. I almost want to like fast forward onto Greedo because I just think Greedo's unbelievable. I really do. I can't believe how good Greedo looks. When I saw that image of him standing there, I thought, oh my god, that's just they've just got that so well.
But if I can just say, like, this expression here, what he's doing, this is why we collect modern.
Yes.
Yeah. Again, I know, Chris, I know you guys have spoken to it earlier and the limitations of the old stuff, but look at this. Good Lord.
If you were like, John, you I know you missed it by a minute, but like Tim and me, if you grew up collecting the Kenner line when the show was happening, the movies were happening, I wish I could go back to my 5-6-year-old self and show them this picture and go, this is what it will be someday. I would have been passed out on the floor. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I've never drooled this much over an old, burly, ugly-looking bartender in my life.
Are you sure?
Oh, sober.
And there's Labron. Is that how you pronounce it? Labron.
It's an N, Tim.
It's Labron.
Yeah, Brun. Yeah.
But you sound like you're starting it off with an L.
La 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 la.
Oh yeah, sorry. No. Yeah. I did actually, didn't I? Yeah. That's because of the leads is in my head. Yeah. Fantastic. Now, what about this one? Because we do have this one. Okay, it's nowhere near as good. Nowhere near good articulation. Do you think they wanted to sort of include this one because they were like flexing the fact that they can do like forearms and things like that? Because they could have picked any number of other aliens, couldn't they?
I think that's what it is, and I hope people realize this now makes Rio possible and Pon Krell and Dexter Jetster, your favorite, Tim. It makes all these figures.
Cloners.
Hey, leave Nick's in the comments. Come on, don't steal his thunder.
No, he could do that like a million times better than I could. But I do like that particular cloak. That
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Yeah, it was Tim. It was good.
I'm quite close to that one. I think he might even be proud of me on that particular one. Other ones nowhere near. But yeah, sorry, Chris. You're saying absolutely. Rio.
I think you're right. Like they even said, I think Emily said something to that effect. Like, we were up for the challenge or something like that of, doing something this super articulated. So.
Yeah, it looks great.
And can I ask, apparently, because I'm a New Hope, not amateur noob, is it, so they did this whole with him or her, him, her, whatever, they drinking.
Yeah, don't go there, John. We're all going to get canceled if we point out that it's a woman in the costume and a male identifying character.
The whole drinking thing. Talk to me about this. Explain this to me. So he's drinking out of his tube thing. And they have another one that's just, it's like connected to the vest or something, or what?
No, it's just straight.
Okay.
It's just a straight one. So they've curled it up slightly so he can put it in a drink.
Take a drink and hold it. Got it.
Yeah.
The Power of the Force, which was then repainted for, I don't know if that's coming out for TSC. It's got the straight tube.
Straight tube.
And there we go. I really do wish that Victoria could be here to talk about these, but again, they look fantastic, and so many people have been wanting these figures for this scene in particular, but also because it's one of those ones that's just been asked for so long that you just in the end just thought it's never going to happen, and finally it is. So, which is great.
Yeah, what Angela was, I thought she was Bria. Was she Seni?
It's been mixed up in the names of flop back and forth.
Right, the whole Orlam Zuckus thing. But who was she in the? Which one was she? Left or
the tall
right?
one? The tall
one. That's what I thought. She was tall.
Yeah.
Tall
the
and
one in green.
Yeah.
Tall and voluminous.
Big hands, John. She had big hands.
She had big hands. Look at those hands. They're big. They're huge.
But I mean,
we're going to move on to this shot here because then it's got Wooher in it as well. Look at that. Fantastic.
Look at that hair on his chest. Look at that man.
Is that trying to tell me to go down a button, John? Oh, wait a minute. You're Greek. You're Greek. You can put me to shame.
Dude, that looks so great. I mean, even Emily, I think, was highlighting the different makeup they had and how they got to design that in their sculpts. But
we can think back of all the human faces. If they miss on an alien, we don't really we don't know what aliens look like. So if they're a little off on an alien, it's more forgiving. But when you're off on a human character, we know it right away. When Leia's not right, when Harrison Ford, any Han figures not, we know it right away with our eyes. They nailed these face sculpts on absolutely nailed them.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah, and it's not always a given, even with new, because you just have to look at Vel from Andor. Great figure and everything. It looks pretty much like the character in terms of its outfit and everything, but the face does not look like the actress at all. Right. Whereas these two, you're right, absolutely nailed it completely.
Yeah, agreed. Has Angela posted anything yet? I wonder. I know it's still very early, but looking forward to her reaction to all this, and very happy.
Maybe Victoria will be able to get on a live stream or something.
Oh, I'm sure she's planning something. Yeah,
that'd be good, wouldn't it? And I want to move on, but I just want to take a look at they are great. They are fantastic.
They got their hookah.
And Wooher, for as far as the likeness, Wooher's nailed too. Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's amazing. Look at his slobby shirt. Look at all the weathering. Great. Poor guy. Poor guy's just getting trashed all day at the cantina. Smoke in his face, dirty hookahs, and
I'm going to move on now to this image here because
yes,
my God.
Look
I don't know
how
what it is about this image and the pose. It just looks. It does not look like a 3 3/4 inch figure. It doesn't.
No. Yeah, the vest is like flexing a bit. You know, it's kind of like waving, and there's all these just details. The holster is a good, accurate proportion. You know?
Yeah, it's not a mailbox holster, John.
It's not a mailbox holster.
All the crinkles on his jumpsuit and everything. Because
the
thing is, and I think it's me and Daniel Chart were talking, and he said, "Oh, maybe they've just, like they do quite a lot, share digital image, sculpts and stuff. Maybe they've just, shrunk down the Black Series one. I haven't been able to check whether that's the case or whatever. But the thing is with the 6-inch figure is that the finer details are enlarged, so they might look a bit softer, or do you know what I mean? So when you have it so small, you can really, even though it's smaller to see, the details are more defined, I think. And to get that level of detail in this figure is just amazing. And obviously, when you think of the Cantina, you think of lots of different things, but you think of him and the shootout and whatever. So I'm glad that they've got him in there. And as we know, it's got an alternate card back. It's not the actual card back, the Kenner one that they used with the Vintage Saga collection either. So there is the possibility that they could give us this guy in the main line or another way with the other card back.
Yeah.
So I'm liking that they did that as well, because if they'd locked the original 96 card back behind an expensive HASLAB, then that's not good.
Can you do Kiwi Man's comment from 1101? Because he's talking about that exactly.
1101.
428 people.
Greedo looks incredible. I'm surprised he is in the HASLAB and not the mainline. Yeah, exactly. But that's
he's coming another way.
Yeah,
and all three figures are coming another way. They said it.
Yeah.
If they're unlocked, which I'm not even so sure that's true, they're coming another way.
And if you're going to do a HASLAB Cantina, then it kind of needs to have Greedo in it,
Yeah.
So I can understand, it's just unfortunate that he is an original 96, because that sort of think like, oh, why is he in there? Why is he in there? But they've done the right thing by giving him a different card back, 100%, which is great. I just need to find a super chat here. Thank you, Marco. Appreciate it, buddy. He says Greedo is the best figure of the tiers, and the detail is great. Also amazed with the Tonica sisters. They deserve to be in TVC line. From the Cantina patrons, should old figures be updated or get brand new figures? We can talk about that a little bit right now. So
which ones?
Yeah, exactly. There's someone like Labria.
Yeah, thank you for pronouncing it.
Yeah.
If I try to pronounce it, it would sound like a female body part. So I'm glad you took the
Chris, mate, every time I have to sort of like make sure. Oh, glad I'm not alone in this world.
that one, I mean, he gets his own glam shot. Like very few characters get their own glam shot in the movie, and the first Power of the Force, and then again redone in Saga Collection, just completely, utterly inaccurate. I mean, it's, other than the head, it's basically the head sculpt's the only thing that's accurate to the costume on set. So he needs a new figure.
Yeah, so thank you, Marco, for the super chat and the question there. But yeah, there is others that are that old as well.
Not that old, but Danik Jericho, I would kill to have one with doesn't have the holes in the face. Those holes are so distracting.
That's Tim's favorite.
What else do we have?
That's supposed to be smoke billowing out of his cheeks, right?
No, it's proboscises from the EU. Some sort of.
I know one. A new Duros.
Yes,
yeah.
Ellers Maddock. Yeah.
That'd be a good one.
There's
I have no idea what the comment from Dion Melsop at 11:05 means, but God, I hope so.
Chris, will they release a...
If they do, I'll take a scrot action figure. That's fine.
Franken beans.
There is a
John
so
twice while I was taking a sip, John, twice.
the figures that have been included are great, and at this point I wouldn't change them because they all look fantastic. But part of me did want the Spaceman.
No,
because of what else that can open
right.
up.
It unlocks so much if they did the Cantina dude. I would have, I hate the good enough crowd. Oh, that figure's good enough. So I'm going to join them. I think the Nabrin leads we have is good enough. Would have been good enough. So I would have swapped out Nabrin for Cantina dude just to get that, the Spaceman that, as you said, Tim, unlocks Bosk, unlocks Boshek. You get so much use out of that tooling.
Yeah, and that's what I mean by did they pick one that because almost to show what they can do, flex like because as you say, the silver one from the Saga collection is actually, of course, it doesn't have all the articulation, but it looks okay.
It's one of those things that, again, with all the articulation, I'm probably going to pose it pretty similar to that. So even with all the articulation, I'm just going to get back to the what is that 7 POA figure?
Yeah,
what it's already
I did like the gun behind the back. I thought that was cool.
That was cool. Yeah.
Collins Collection says, Tim, we need Boshek that can be retooled for Bosk. Yeah, exactly. That's what we just exactly what we're saying. His Bosk.
And it's literally, it's not like a similar jumpsuit. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same jumpsuit from Cantina Dude to Bosk. The exact same one was used.
That would be so. We got Cantina Dude and then a new Bosk.
Yeah, because it's the same suit from Doctor Who, isn't it? So,
is it?
Yeah, it was originally in Doctor Who.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's a human, I think. But there's like a black and white image of a guy sitting in maybe he's in a spaceship or something. He's in a seat, and he has the exact Bosk outfit on.
Wow.
Doctor Who. Yeah. So he just borrowed the outfit, I guess. Right. So that's Greedo. I mean, there's some more images of these in a second, but
the hands, man. Even the hand sculpting, like, it's just amazing.
Yeah, I can't stop looking at this image. It's just so good.
Yeah.
So good. Right, let's go on to the next one. And then here is Ariel Shush. Is that how you pronounce it?
Ariel Shush.
Wolfman with his white jacket on. And they've weathered up the jacket, which looks pretty cool.
Even though it was unweathered on set.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually bright white, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if you'll appreciate this joke, Tim, but every time I talk to John about it, I said it's a members only jacket, which was kind of the cheesy jacket here in the 80s, with members only.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were referencing it as like a player's jacket. So like a lot of the football teams, right? And baseball teams, Chris. I know football, like supposedly it may have been a Raiders player's jacket.
It's even more 80s if it was a starter jacket. Remember the starter jackets, John?
Oh man, I was poor. I had a pro player or something. It was like a knockoff of the starter jacket. But one of my customizer friends, shout out to Christopher Herman, he brought up a behind the scenes shot of the actress who also played Arleel. I think it was the same one who did Greedo, right? I could be mistaken. Is it Wanda? I don't know. Some nerds help. But anyways, it supposedly might not have the full stripes, and I'm only bringing that up because the attention some people have, and the reference material some people have is just absolutely amazing in this hobby.
So, Chris, on your list of most wanted figures, not something that you would submit to one of the fan polls that we do, because I know you like to sort of pick things that will sell essentially as well.
Retail viability.
It's not like a selfish pick. How high would the Wolfman have been in like a selfish pick of characters?
So we do have them ranked. I clicked on the wrong thing. Give me 1 minute. So we do have them ranked, and I believe I had him as number 3 for the Cantina. I do. Behind the Tonica sisters, he's number 3 for the most needed, because he's part of the opening. As you said, when you pointed out when we were going through the pictures, he's the opening shot. He's right there. And one other thing that's really neat about him is he's not the same species as Lax Sivrak. He's a Defel, not a I can't remember the species for Lax Sivrak. But the point is, this would be one of the very few rare OT alien species debuts in the line if he gets made.
How could you envisage Hasbro in the future? Let's just say this backs all the way 17,000, and they said, they are exclusive card backs for this, not the figures, which suggests that they could. How would you envisage that they could potentially get this guy out again? Like, what would he be included in?
This is zero insight. I have no idea.
Yeah.
This is just my speculation. I think we see the formation of a 4-pack, just like the Jabba's Denizen 4-pack. So I think it's going to be Greedo on his real card back. And remember, people think it should be mainline. Greedo always peg worms, unfortunately. So I can see Hasbro being a little leery of releasing Greedo as mainline. Greedo, Nabrin Leeds, Arlil Shus, and then I think Banis Keeg, based on the John's little detective work on the head from the Rebel Pilots pack. That has to be planned for something else. So I think that's just the basis of a 4-pack right there. That'd be my guess.
On different card and all of
alternate, on alternate, yeah. And I don't want to discourage people from backing to get these unlocked. I highly suspect that's coming, whether or not they said they're only coming another way if these unlock as part of the Cantina. I kind of suspect they've got enough work done here that they're going to release them regardless of whether or not they unlock with the play set.
A year ago, could you have imagined that we have 2 card backs of this guy in the line? It's just nuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Next image of him sitting there, absolutely awesome.
Can I say another thing? I don't think people appreciate these tables. How people saying it's just walls and things like that. This is a better table than we already have. The table, I believe, came with Pons Limbic in the Legacy collection. Do you have any idea how much people are paying just for these tables? If you wanted to have 3 or 4 of those, you're probably $100 in just to have the tables by themselves. So again, the fact that you get all the value for the Cantina another way, you got to look at it in other ways. If you want to have some Cantina tables, this is actually going to be a pretty economical way to get not 1 or 2. What are we getting? 10, 12 with the base offering?
Looks so good.
Yeah.
Love it.
Let's move on to some of these other. So here we go. Here's like the glam shots. There's Greedo. Oh my god.
And I'm forgetting. Does he come with alternate hands, or is that just his left hand?
I don't think this one does. We'll have a look at.
Okay, I know the Tonica's and Wooher does, but
yeah, they do. I'm just going to see if we've got the card backs on this particular part. I don't think we have. So we'll go down.
Yeah, you're right. It's in the middle section there, or bottom.
We'll talk about that in a second as well. There's some really cool things on that.
Somebody on Facebook like decoded a bunch of it. It was pretty cool.
Is that?
Oh, we got to talk about these card back images.
Yeah.
Too, because I know they're digital render. They're clearly digital renders, but they're punched. Please, Hasbro, just unpunch these for the HasLab. Make them unpunched.
Yeah. That most recent 4-pack is why are they punched? You know, the Ahsoka one with the 3, they're punched cards, whereas all those other ones, apart from the very first one they did of the goons, the skiffs guards, they were unpunched. But since then, they were punched. Since then, they've all been unpunched in those 3 and 4 packs. So I don't know why they went back and did that for these ones. I'm with you, mate. I'm hoping, that they make sure they're unpunched.
Yeah, definitely.
Great image though. That, look at that, fantastic. So he comes with a separate hand.
A face only a mother could love.
Yeah.
I love the rifle. Like what?
It's like under the bar, isn't it? It's like...
Yeah, we don't serve your kind.
And that's the Bomb Vimden blaster. The Bomb Vimden, they came with Bomb Vimden.
Oh,
so maybe he stole it from him.
Oh, right.
Love it.
I did not realize that. Okay.
Where's my bum?
So there is reuse in this one then.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the Tonica sisters. I mean, I said in my video they didn't have a lot of choice on these, but they're the 2 classic images, aren't they, of those 2?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Again, absolute guaranteed gold. If you back this and you don't open them, absolute gold. I promise you, no matter what this goes to, if you buy the standard edition and you just want the bar and wooer, you'll get your money back from those 2 figures right there. Those are $200 plus on the secondary market, day one.
Yeah, it looks so good.
You're probably right there, yeah.
Shout out to Mr. Lindquist. He made some pretty nice cards of them a while back.
Can you go back just for a second, John? I mean, sorry, Tim. John was talking. Again, look at all that's just the expansion set. Look at all the tables you get. And the seats and everything. It's incredible.
7 tables, yeah.
And that's just the deluxe.
That's a good shot there. Look. From
the entranceway, yeah.
Shout out to Matthew Cohen. All these photos are amazing.
Yeah. Except for the one where you had the cup tipped over, but that made me just say, one of us. Google, one of us.
When we go to those photos, someone was asking me for like who a background character was in the back of one of the shots. So I got to remember to have you zoom in. There he is. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's the Greedo card that we're talking about. He's alternate image. That is not the original 96 one that came out in the Kenner line. And that's a great shot of him. That's a great shot.
Is that when he approaches Han?
Yeah, that's when Han's trying to leave and he's
literally
going somewhere solo, isn't it?
Puts the blaster in his chest, and that's why the hinged wrist becomes important on that figure. If you want to recreate that shot using the wrong hand, it's his right hand.
Yeah, so he comes with the blaster and a cup. Is that a cup?
Yeah. Yeah, I think one of the pictures shows him. One of Matt's pictures might show him with the cup. I forget.
And this one that's a nice card back as well. And he comes with 2 blasters, the separate pipe, and another cup.
Look at that, man! Wow.
Darth Wizzy Wizard said, "Wish they shrunk the bubble. These are just digital renders. We don't know what the actual bubble will look like."
Look at those barbell hips! Wow.
And there he is in his clean jacket. Somebody described it as a ski jacket, I think, at some point.
Ski jacket.
That might have been on the stream that they did that. I think I can't remember, but
I sent you a photo.
70s ski jacket.
I sent you a photo of the behind the scenes, but it's do with it what you want.
What, the ones you sent me of the
I just sent another one. I mean, I don't know how easy it is for you to bring up a photo, but it's in your messages.
Yeah, that might be a bit difficult.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know if on your Mac it was easy, but
what did I want to show next? There was oh yeah, so let's stop sharing that quickly. So let's just see what people are saying in the chat. If there's any messages that you want me to bring up, let's have a look.
if they do
Nien
release,
says Emily
go
or
ahead.
Jing said there's no current plans to re-release the Tonicas. Sounds to me like they are covering their basis for when they release them for the 2027 50th anniversary. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that with the katana, they'll be re-releasing.
You're about to say something, John Way?
Yeah, someone was mentioning something. I'd love a. Oh, somebody actually mentioned what I was thinking. Mr. Skeezer, my fellow Malaka, Yasu. He noted. I'd love a panda with a new larger head. If they re-release it, would be really cool if they got a more accurate.
Yeah.
On the Baba. Yeah. Yasu, bre.
Yeah, somebody go and buy me a jacket. We need to put the Wolfman in something.
Oh God, I don't want to pronounce it. Hey, what's the devil, the word Denevorian? You say it, Tim, so I don't have to say it.
Labria.
Yeah, look at his outfit. It's pretty wild 70s outfit on that guy too.
Yeah.
If you look at the BTS shots, a little bit of a vest with the shirt underneath, same color, matching.
Tonica Sisters will be the first HasLab figures that I open. I need to display them in the bar. Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Me too. We're going to be opening them all. Labria. Yeah. Yeah. That's the last time I'm saying it. Just in case. Right. I just want to, if you just talk amongst yourselves for a second, I'm just going to grab those images, John, that you sent across.
Yeah. Yeah, or you can go to Matthew's Instagram, whatever's easier for you.
Jason Kiwi Man wants me to do a Pak the Khan Harvard Yard here demonstration, but with some of these characters.
Hey, Chris.
Oh, what?
Say hi to your mother for me.
Hey, donkey. You're a donkey. That's pretty weird. All right, say hi to your mother for me.
For those of you that don't know, that's.
I wonder if Tungori will get these figures. Can just imagine the mad dash.
Oh man, yeah, they'll be one leg will be way shorter than the other. And...
Yeah, inclusions in plastic.
Remember they got the caped Mando from the set from the Razor Crest. That's,
yep, I grabbed one of those.
Thank God I don't have to open the baggie. Right, let's see if we can share these. Hopefully it will work.
Really wish I could use the word mate. I just can't.
Yeah.
Just can't, being an American. It just means something else to us. Sorry.
Yeah.
What word, sorry?
Mate. I love that word.
Mate.
I just can't use it as an American. I love you guys.
But even if, aside from the other way, you're thinking, John, it sounds too piratey. Hi, matey.
Hi. Gar, babies.
Right, so these images are
nice.
Like, looking at that shot there, like if you looked at it really quickly, it would look like the thing, wouldn't it? So
yeah,
so good.
Let's see if I can where are they? Preview. Here we go. Yeah. So you've got the new Nabran, Wuha, and then obviously some of his. I believe you said, John, it was all of his figures that he's used for.
Yeah, he had a message up about how him and Emily came together, and between the both of them, they were able to like fill an entire the entire cantina of what figures we have. Shout out to Lando. He's also posted a photo on Facebook that includes every possible cantina figure. But yeah, I guess they had fun doing this, so that must have been a pretty cool little photo shoot there.
Yeah.
There's
And
one
the
if you
lighting
get to
he
it.
puts back there, like what? Oh man, look at those red and blue lights too. It's interesting. Is that in the playset, or is that something he modified?
Well, I don't know if he had the lighting behind it, but those lights are definitely in the playset for the.
All right, so I wonder if
that
they did it
alcove.
so you can just put a light, some kind of
Definitely
LED behind it. So
absolutely that's why they showed it off. I think Chris even.
Well, I know
so
they've done that with the
excited.
tables, but are they saying have they done it with those lights there as well?
I'm pretty
That's
sure
what I'm
Chris
wondering.
called. I'm pretty sure Chris called that out, that you can light those
That's
lights
just,
behind Greedo.
Wow. Okay.
I'm so excited for that. That's what I did here with this set. I put LEDs in the back to shine through. So that's great that they did have to work for you.
Yeah, so Left Coast Graphics is saying they mentioned lights in the leak as well. So this is where it's getting confused, because the leak, there was also a leak of another thing from like years ago, from like some, I don't know, forum or something that they did. And, that was probably just like what they sort of proposed at the very beginning. It didn't necessarily mean that's going to be the final thing, because I think that also said 8 figures. And this is the other thing about what, like, it going slowly. And I think you've touched on this before, Chris, and that leaks are never really good for,
No.
it takes the oomph out of it. It takes, it doesn't land as well, because everyone kind of knows already. And, there's lots of speculation about it, what it has and what it hasn't got and all that kind of thing. So, some people might just be expecting it to have fully lit and sounds and all this kind of stuff. So, but that, another great shot there. I love the way the shadow and the light is beaming across the figure there. That's expertly done, that one.
It's awesome.
And then there's that shot, Chris.
Right, it's the exact shot. Yeah.
Completed now. So
except we didn't see that much of him Dazon in the actual shot.
Yeah, you just saw his head sort of here, didn't you?
He was a head on a steak.
It's covering is that Pons?
Pons
Limbic, yeah.
Yeah.
And,
so it was covering him, wasn't it? You didn't actually see him.
And there's one more figure that should be in there. Bronc Core or something, barista, but it's the other one. We actually have a similar figure, and it's a shame they couldn't revive it, but he has a mustache. That's all the difference is. We have the figure. I can't think of the name right off the top of my head. But there's actually another figure that goes in there.
Is it that Saga line one?
Hold on, let me.
Almost like he's got like a black balaclava on, like all black head.
Yeah, yes,
yes. That one. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I was looking for him. I don't know where I put him.
Maybe you're wrong. I might be thinking of the wrong table.
Daniel Charters put Bracona Bakiska.
Yeah. I just can't think
of... That's not
the
the one I'm thinking of then, I don't think.
I don't know which shot he's in. I might be wrong that he's in the opening shot. Probably am wrong. Yeah, so Trinto Duaba. It's the same exact mask, except they have a mustache on it for one.
Oh, right.
Oh, okay. Just lost my sound.
We can make fun of him again.
This shot here is interesting, of course, isn't it? Because we've got three potentially. I mean, he might have used a different Chewie. We can't really tell there, but
yeah, some people noted it looks like at high Chewie there, the hair, but I don't know how you can see it.
But are we saying that these are? Has anyone asked him if these are? You know, because he's, you know, how close in the process, or you know, how finished in the process these ones are. And I'm trying to see what Luke's got.
They said Emily said very early. That's all I remember.
Right.
Yeah, that's all I recall too.
Another great shot, that. And then we've got Wolfman.
Yeah, I hope it's not soft goods either.
What, Luke?
Yeah, Leon Jarmo.
You mean his lower skirt?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, what's the guy's name? Next to the Bith.
That's that guy I was trying to think. Oh, the big guy. Muftak, is it?
There's Muftak.
That's Josh Pure right there.
That's the one I was thinking about.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Different shot, yeah.
That's an absolutely terrible figure that we have, but he's so minimally seen that
that's what another one.
We just need to live with it. Came in the Blue Line saga. It was back when they had the kind of cool part where they had the blast effects on the blaster. Yeah. We could plug them on the blasters, but the blasters with that figure, they're like, you know, swizzle sticks for stirring a cocktail drink. They're so thin and malleable.
We've got Mayo.
That's Mayo. Yeah, somebody just asked that. What? Who's facing Mayo? Muftak, excuse me. It's Mayo.
Still a good figure, that Mayo, as well.
Yeah, I mean, those figures, those post OTC figures hold up because they do what, you know, Cantina aliens need to do. They have knees, no ankles. They have swivel elbows, but in that case, it's enough.
Were these hard for you to find, Chris, back in the day? I remember only seeing these really once. I wasn't as hardcore as I am now, but
I was hardcore at the time. I never saw them. I never saw those in stores.
Yeah,
and those are among a handful of figures that I never saw. Those three figures, and then the original McQuarrie Stormtrooper on the fan choice one from the quote unquote saga line. I never saw that one in the store. That's it.
I just love these.
Felt tip pen. I still say that's what his name is referencing. It's a felt tip pen for those those antenna.
Love it in his stoned red eyes.
Pronounce his girlfriend's name, John. I'll give you $1,000 right now.
Oh, my John Lindquist? Wrong John.
There's too many accents. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Too many.
Which one was his girlfriend?
Maya Unith or something like that.
Oh, that's right. It's in the pictures, right?
Yeah.
Your pictures.
So the big shout out to Matt Cohen. So, you know, on the left of this picture, kind of out of focus, I think he used the actual Tequil figure, which is accurate for this scene, instead of using the new Zutton figure from the Vintage Collection.
Yeah, it is. It's the one from that 3-pack, Power of the Force.
Yeah. From the canteen. So big shout out to Matt for that one. Attention to detail.
Look at the shadowing and jeez, lightning. God, it's art. It's art. You can sell prints of these.
And the Han Solo there.
There's so much of the stuff. If they made 8x10s, John, I would buy it just to put it on the wall.
I mentioned to Chris at that event, like if you guys made a poster the size of the AT-AT, the Empire Strikes Back AT-AT, the box art, sold those, people would buy those.
Yeah, even 8x10s of the actual cards. I would, I would buy those. Of course, I haven't realized that 6x9 does not translate to 8x10.
And what's to the right there? Is that Nebrun?
I can't
Yeah.
tell.
Nebrun, yeah, he's got his arms there.
Nebrun.
Yeah. Yeah, because at cons and stuff, they've given out posters of like the box art of like the barge and whatever. They could give things out like this, I think.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Tim, I don't know if this is this the last shot or are there more?
That is the last one.
There's other shots. Ah, man, there's one of the sisters, and behind them, which was it on the actual HasLab page, or darn it, there's one with the sisters, and there's someone behind them. Crap. I gotta find this.
If you can find it, let me know, and I'll see
Okay.
if I can bring it up. But in the meantime, we've been going an hour and 36. We've just dipped below 400, but we're at like 440 for ages, which is amazing. So let's just talk about what they were saying about other stuff that could potentially, 2025 is going to be the year of, Return to Tatooine or whatever they want to call it. Obviously we don't know anything about what's coming or anything like that, but just maybe some things that you would want for them to do, just to to build this out. Of course you could talk about other figures that you want them to do, or like for me, if I was going to, the thing that I would love for them to do is a 4-pack of Sand Troopers, for example. So I honestly thought that maybe when they announced this, that might have been one of the things that they pipelined, because I think it's like quite an easy, obvious thing for them to do. I know in my recent videos, people have said, oh, the helmets are ever so slightly different. They use stunt helmets and stuff like this. But in all honesty, I think the Stormtrooper that we have, weathered, maybe a new knee armor or something, if you really want to go there, would be enough. So I was quite surprised that they didn't do that, and I would be quite surprised if that isn't a thing, because you do need the Sand Troopers for the cantina, and you need them for outside of the cantina as well. And there's, you're going to want, if they do a set of 4 of them, and I was talking about this to Daniel Chart at MCM, and he said, and this is what I was thinking as well, you want one with the orange pauldron, you want 2 with the black and 1 with the white, something like that. So you get a good range of them, and then a couple of packs of those, and then you're done, aren't you? That's just for that, Anything you guys would like to see them they do?
Well, just so what you're saying, Tim, there's actually 2 Sand Troopers. There's what a lot of people call the OOT Sand Trooper, which is the one you were describing with the one from the original trilogy, and the
special
edition, which is basically a Stormtrooper with the Sand Trooper gear. So depending on how nitpicky you are, you got both. The only OOT Sand Trooper they ever really nailed was the one from the Evolution set, which unfortunately doesn't have a waist. That's because the belt's different and all that stuff. I would personally love the TBS. The first TBS Sand Trooper was the one true 100% accurate OOT Sand Trooper I think they've ever done, other than that Evolution set, because there's a different ab plate, as you said, there's a different knee pad and all that stuff, but definitely want that. One other thing I would be cool, but my friend down here who always tempts me into spending a lot of money on things I probably shouldn't do, that would be this is the Stan Solo one that John talked me into buying for a very expensive price. Obviously that's right outside the cantina there.
I send a lot of things that I buy to Chris because he has no state tax. So I sent him one of those that I bought, and he was like, "Ah, shoot."
I have so many ghosts coming to my address because of that. The FedEx man is going to think I'm an arms dealer when they get here. He's going to be so mad.
And what's next to that outside the cantina?
Which way? Which way are you going, Tim?
It's a dewback, isn't it? Isn't there a dewback?
I was going to say, which way you're going. If you're going to the left,
Yeah.
there's a dewback over there.
Yeah.
So that would be huge.
There's a couple other speeders, right, that people have done from the customizing community that are pretty cool too, right? The one with like almost like a spider looking. I'm so terrible. There's a couple other speeders. Help me out in the comments, and some different gonk droids, right, that are walking through. That would be pretty cool too.
I mean, a few different astromechs as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a what was it, R1G4? There's one very similar to that in there, but I always associate this with just outside the cantina. You know, the little
void
street,
speeder.
the little street with Wyoslia, where he does the sale. That, to me, I always envisioned that like there's the alley next to the cantina. So if they could give us this and maybe the alley.
And a Garandan.
There you go.
yeah, Tim. There you go.
Come on.
Oh, there's certain vintage collection cards that I could just like picture in my mind, and Garandan on a vintage collection card would be absolutely epic.
Yeah, he would. Definitely.
And again, that's one from day one as a kid. Why don't we have that figure? Why do we have Snaggletooth, which I never knew as a kid where he was in the movie? Why don't we have Garandan, who I knew exactly where he was?
Yeah. Yeah, he's quite important to the story, isn't he?
Yeah, drops the dime.
Yeah. Yeah, in the UK, we call him a grass. Yeah. Snitch. Like.
Snitch. A rat.
A rat. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So you have some sort of circular slang for that, Tim, to get to snitch? Flitch, witch, I don't know.
Snitch is a US word, isn't it?
I'm just saying your slangs are all like circular logic. It's dizzying logic to get to your slang. Chevy Chase for face. I'm still trying to. How long did that take?
That was in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, wasn't it?
Yeah. You still should have called me out for throwing in the clip from the other movie.
I know. I didn't want to. I thought I'd just leave it.
They all blend together for me.
Yourself anyway, so that's all right. So there was a question here I wanted to get to. Yeah, Vac Metal C3PO. I'm not too sure about. I'm still not convinced he needs to be Vac Metal, but
no, that is the case of the vintage figure, the vintage Kenner figure, blinding us to the fact he's not Vac Metal in the movies for the most part.
For the end scene, isn't it, where he's
just
cleaned up.
The two end scenes, the end scene in Jedi and the end scene in A New Hope. He's shiny, but otherwise he's pretty. There's an opaque film on him where a nice shiny paint would do to be accurate to the movie.
Does anybody want to read that?
The ubiquitous Mos Eisley man.
Thank you. That's the word I wanted to read.
You know what? I'll be right back.
Mos Eisley man, extras and passed in many scenes.
Chris is going to go and get his waistcoat and floppy hat out now. Look.
Beige waistcoat and floppy hat. Oh yeah.
Love that movie, Tim. Yeah, it's great. Isn't it?
Not accurate to what was being described, but go get this for just your Mos Eisley extras. Go get the
I have that. I have that. They're great. Yeah. And they were in the Book of Boba Fett as well.
Yeah. I mean, throw them in the bar. Throw them in.
How much is that set?
No idea. I bought this a while ago to review, and then Nick reviewed it on his channel. I'm like, oh, he's gonna look like I'm stealing his thunder if I review it. So I waited, and that was probably a year or so ago, and I still haven't reviewed it.
Yeah, me and Nick got it around the same time because Star Action Figures suddenly bunged it up. They found extra stock, and it's like, wow, get one of those real quick. Do you not have one of those, John?
Sorry, I don't have that set.
Oh,
What
Tell you
the
what,
ones that Chris just showed? Sorry.
There's a chance I might have another one of those, like damaged box.
how are you displaying? How are you displaying your no knees Academy bigs if you don't have
When
them?
did that one come out? Is that part of the Legacy collection or
30th
It was-
anniversary, isn't it?
No, it's the technically like the Shadows of the Dark Side era.
Okay,
So this was
yeah.
like when TVC just launched.
Oh no, that I'm talking about Biggs, the Biggs 30th anniversary,
Biggs was
wasn't it?
30. Yeah, 30.
Oh yeah,
anniversary.
yeah.
With the cape that stains the figure.
I made a custom Mos Eisley man. Sent you a picture, Tim. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it onto my computer that quick. Let's see if I can.
A lot of people have been saying Acmina. We need Acmina. If we're going to get this bar, we need Acmina. No face, John.
I don't want that.
Morgan Elsbeth. It's not going to take much new tooling. Morgan Elsbeth is the base.
I don't think I was born yet, so like, yeah. Chalman would be cool. Yes.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
that guy. He's used the hat of Luke, hasn't he, for that? I think. Yeah. Yeah.
Can you bring up Keith Balava's comment from 1146? So this is 100% right.
1146. Keith. There you go.
So they couldn't do the chrome finish on C-3PO because it kept picking up the cameraman. Yeah. So that's why he's not really back metalized in the movie. That appearance.
Yeah.
I believe it was grease. I think they covered him literally with grease. Probably Crisco.
Yeah, so we're coming up towards the end now. Anyone in the chat would like to ask any questions of our guests that we have on, or any comments that you have about the HASLAB itself? I'm just going to do a refresh of the page to see what we're at now, just so we...
Hey, Sean Stark here. He said, hey, Tim, our little Shoes' legs are an exact match for, as you guys say, Garindan. I say Garindin. If anyone else says Garindin, let me know.
Yeah.
But now I say Garindan to just,
yeah,
be with Tim.
Han, potatoes.
Say alternate again.
Oh, come off it. Alternate. Obviously. Oh, I love having you Americans on it. It's so good. We could just do a whole stream, couldn't we, about
just remember, you guys used to talk like us before your royalty got all fancy and wanted to speak different from all of you peasants.
Something happened to you guys when you went over there. Something happened.
Yeah, but there's more of us now, so enjoy your role.
We're on a few different continents now. Right?
Oh, Kiwi man, we're fighting now. There's no eye. There is no eye.
No.
It's aluminum.
Yeah. And this word petrol, it's called gas.
Yeah.
Come on.
And liter is ER.
Aluminium.
Aluminum.
Aluminum.
Not having it.
There's titanium. We don't say titanium.
Yeah.
I would like to see tier 4 20,000 backers to get the carded figures loose. It's interesting.
17,000, right?
No,
17,000 is the final one.
Oh,
So
he wanted another
20,000.
tier so you can get a set loose. Gotcha. Sorry, Steven. Hyundai.
Gas is something you have, not what you buy. Very true.
Isn't
Yeah.
petrol oil though?
No.
Petroleum. I don't know.
I like it. Yeah, should we gang up on middle-aged Kiwi man instead? Because he talks weird.
Rika,
He's always saying Kia Sorento. I don't. He's talking about a car all the time. I don't understand.
Rika, crosshair.
Mario,
Tick.
tick, clankers, shinies, and your clankers.
Omega.
I'm not sure if we're doing it justice.
What was Omega's first name?
Yeah.
Commodore.
What's her last name? 500. Yeah.
It was a strong system, John. Tim.
I had one of those. It was great.
Yeah, it was. I had it too.
Supercars 2. Oh, what a game. Yeah, so any lasting thoughts, guys, on the Cantina? Sorry, I was going to find out what we're on. We're on 3541. It is going slow. There's no two ways about it. It's going slow.
It'll back. I think it will back.
Yeah.
But it's not going to back till the last 3 days at this rate. I just promise anybody watching, if you're on the fence and you have the funds, again, nobody's ever telling anybody don't go into Hawk or any of that.
No.
If you have the funds, if you're a collector, if this is, if you have a collector's spirit at all, you're going to regret not backing this. I promise you, especially because of the return to Tatooine. You're going to regret not having this when everything is fully unveiled. So if you're on the fence, just go back and back it now. So maybe, we can get, one of the tiers unlocked or two of the tiers unlocked. But obviously this is the Star Wars Giant Man. Marvel had the Sentinel and Galactus that backed in 10 seconds. And Giant Man took a while, but it backed. It unlocked a couple tiers, not all of them. This is our Giant Man that we're dealing with right now. But you're going to regret it. I promise you, you're going to regret it if you don't back it. And again, if you have the money, if it's not a choice between paying your rent or the HASLAB, nobody's saying do that. Anything irresponsible.
No. But as we said at the beginning, like this particular item is like almost why I open my stuff. Like, the Jabbas thing, I absolutely love that thing.
Yeah.
When I look at that thing and I think,
I love it.
It should have really come out Return of the Jedi. But that is a good figure. But to have like Squid Head in there, amazing. I always, that's a dream for me to do that.
When you say that, Tim, this reference is going to be lost on 99%. But the movie Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell, where he coaches the soccer team.
Yeah, with the two Italian boys. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Italian uncle is always prima la carne, meat first, prima la carne. To me, it's always loose first. I'm a carded collector, but loose comes first, 100% of the time.
Yeah, it does for
Absolutely.
me. It does for me. I'm not sure if it always did, because the Kenner collector in me, of course I've got those loose and I played with them, but as an adult collector, seeing them on card again, just brings it all back, doesn't it? And that's one of the reasons why I love the vintage collection, because of the card back. But they're getting so good now and so accurate now that I just love them, out the package and in displays and stuff. And I do wish I was better at like creating better displays for them in terms of like, backgrounds and dioramas and all that kind of stuff. I wish I was better at doing that, but I'm quite happy with my glass fronted displays with my, all of the Return of the Jedi Endor stuff. That looks great, so can't wait.
I'll just say, Tim, jump into it, man. I was pretty terrible at first, and as you're do more and more of it, you get better and better. So
yeah, it's a time thing for me as
it's
well.
the time thing for sure. But yeah, I'm excited about it. I think there has been, I know we haven't really talked about this, but I think there's been a lot of some division in the community about what people want and what they don't want. I know you guys have spoken to this, both of you, before, and I think it's important to have everyone behind this because of what it means for TVC, right? And what it means for 375. And we're not just OT fans. A lot of people think, oh, there's Miko and Tim and Chris and Victoria. They're very OT focused or OT fans. And yes, we are. We lean on it, but that's not the only thing we like. And I think some people have, yes, there's people out in the community that only want OT, and we're not. I don't want to speak for you guys, but I'm not one of those people. But I'm obviously I favor the OT because of my childhood and what it brought to me. But I don't want people thinking that we're OT only people.
I will say, John, one thing I'm disappointed in is I never wanted a ghost, ever. It wasn't ever on my wish list. I don't care about the ghost.
Yeah.
I backed it out of solidarity with the TVC community.
Yeah.
And now to see some of the ghost fans actively rooting against the Cantina,
Right.
that's awful. Absolutely awful. And if you want to sink the vintage collection, that sort of partisanship and not teamwork is absolutely, it's going to sink TVC. So I hope those people that are being petty about this come around to it. Like I said, there were some OT fans who were shading the ghost. Very minimal. Most OT fans back the ghost. Again, me personally, I could have cared less if that ever got made. There's a lot of things I could care less if it ever get made, but I bought them out of solidarity with the line as a whole, and I'm hoping these people come around with the Cantina. But actively rooting against it, just absolutely awful. Shame on you. Shame on you if you're actively rooting against a vintage collection HASLAB.
And I don't know if people are throwing us into this boat and saying we didn't actively campaign for the ghost is just completely false.
100% false. 100% false. I wrote an article saying stop worrying about the tiers because they're all going to back, and I got ridiculed for it.
Right.
But then I hear people saying we didn't support it.
Yeah, and I'll speak for me. I didn't get on an airplane, go to San Diego Comic-Con and interview Hasbro to not support it. So I just, anyways, I just
and one other thing, any influencers that want their clout and want their in with Hasbro, they will note that as well. Promise you, fact, book it.
Yeah, so sorry to go into that for a bit. I don't know, Tim. Do you have some stuff?
Well, I haven't actually seen or experienced what you're, and I totally. I'm not going to say it hasn't happened, Chris, because you've obviously seen it. I do know that there's
the comments have actively been talking about the comments as we've been going on, and I'm just now addressing it. So,
okay,
I'm not saying people are shading it in the comments here, but people are saying that it's out there.
Right. Okay. Because I apologize. I haven't been able to check the comments as much as I'd like because I'm trying to, but I I'm not stupid. I know there is like a split, and it's a difficult one because I've said before about new media stuff in that. Like, I wish they would just make sure they do the whole thing. So, like, that's what I don't like about it. I don't like. It's not that I don't like that they do new media. It's fine. I don't like it when they half-heartedly do it because I just think there's not any point to it. Like Hunter, for example. Like, I've got a brilliant Hunter figure. It is a great figure. I quite like the Bad Batch. I'm not against it. I would buy the whole team if I could get them. But I just think, certain characters that they've made, I feel is a bit of a waste that they could have put somewhere else because they're not planning or interested in completing it. So I just find it's, you know, and then I look at stuff that I've already got, like maybe 4, 5, 6 of, and I may only need 1 or 2 to finish it, like Rogue One, for example. So I'm a big advocate for Bays and Bodhi. Get those out, because it completes something, you know. When you've only got 1 of something, that's what I just think. Oh, so I'm not saying don't do new media. I'm saying do new media, but do it properly, like go full in. But also you've got to understand that there is, like, it's the Vintage Collection. It's based on the Kenner card back and everything, that whole nostalgia piece. And a lot of people are therefore going to be OT centric collectors. And then you've got another level as well. You've got some people that are just original 96. They don't care about anything else. They just want the original 96. So, you know.
One thing I would say about that, Tim, is, you know, with the new media, the Accolade figures are going to peg warm. I'm going to call it right now. We're going to see them. So that I'm not personally opposed to new media figures. I'm opposed to figures that don't sell well. And we have a pretty good record of what figures are not selling well. You can still go buy Morgan Elsbeth at a discount on Amazon. You can go buy Vel at a discount on Amazon. You can buy Fennec Shand a discount on Amazon. You can buy Corvus Ahsoka, who's a pretty popular character, but they went to the well too often, for a discount on Amazon. You can also, to be fair, you can buy Lobot and Bib Fortuna. Those weren't 100% newly tooled figures, though. So, I you know, if we just stick to 100% newly tooled figures, you know, there's a pretty good record of what doesn't sell well. And if they did the entire gamut of Acolyte figures, it could do damage to TVC. You know, that's why I also don't advocate for my personal most wanted figure for years has been Yurka Mig from the Cantina. He's the blonde-haired, you know, dude with the kind of the ceremony jacket right as you turn the corner on the bar on the left hand. That's my most wanted figure in the world. And I have directly told Hasbro at Toy Fair, don't ever make it because it's going to peg warm. I don't want anything that does damage to TVC. And too many new media figures do damage to TVC. That's why I'm against it. I'm not against it because I don't want them. I would love it if they did them all, but only if they sell. That's why I've kind of shifted to, you know, very safe picks, very identifiable characters. And one thing people have to realize is if you're in the active vocal community, it's an echo chamber. Yes, we all know who these characters are. We all know who Jackson is. We all know who, you know, these very obscure characters are. Your average person walking into Walmart, or, you know, I don't know what the equivalent is there, Tim, in the UK, they don't know who these characters are. They know Darth Vader.
Woolworths? No, I don't know.
You know, but
20 years ago,
just look at the episode 6 Darth Vader. Sold out everywhere. You know, these are the things that, you know, are just the things that have the recognition, the things that cross over. Like we all joke, you know, I joke constantly about Grogu figures, but they're gonna, you know, if they will sell, they will sell brick and mortar. Mandalorian's always going to sell. And then other things that people, you know, because that Mandalorian and Grogu kind of crossed over into the general pop culture. Yeah. But these other niche characters, again, Fennec Shand, I don't know how many people know who that character is outside of the very small and vocal collector community.
Yeah, and people are upset they're not. Well, first of all, Chris, I'm glad you brought up a lot of that, right? Because some people just don't understand your point of view in your articles and why you're writing them. And I know you've explained it. You pretty much you bake it into like every article. But, you know, you're trying to ensure that the line is prosperous, successful, and has that ability to expand that budget. And you're always saying, right, would you bet your house?
Yes.
On this figure?
Would you? Because when you advocate for a figure, you're asking Emily, you're asking Chris Reif, you're asking those people to literally bet their house on what you're asking for. And if you wouldn't bet your house on it, it's unfair to ask them to bet their house on it, because that's their job. That's their life. That's how they pay their mortgage, is with this job. And if you advocate for Frog Lady, I'm sorry, that would be retail death. If you advocate for Frog Lady, you're advocating for those people to potentially lose their job. I'm sorry, that's what you're doing.
Sorry, Corey Frya, my buddy. Sorry. And a lot of people are upset with the lack of representation for the Phantom Menace this year. And I'm seeing comments from people, right? Like, I didn't get my PT love. I'm not happy. And they're putting it on the HASLAB is why they're not happy. And it's like, you can be happy for TVC and the HASLAB and the line, but you shouldn't take it out on it. Like, it's just.
And another thing, and I've written about this, and you can say I'm making it up, or you could take me, maybe I might have some insight into this stuff. Don't blame Hasbro for the lack of the Phantom Menace product. Blame retailers. They have memories like an elephant, but they paint with a very broad stroke. And what literally destroyed the TVC line in 2012 was the Phantom Menace. They don't know that it was wrong character selections. It was oversaturation. They don't know or care about that stuff. They just say Phantom Menace bad. So if you're mad that there's not a lot of Phantom Menace product this year, don't blame Hasbro. Don't blame the HasLab. Blame the retailers who said we don't want this product.
Yeah, and I don't want to string this along, Tim, but there's been some interesting things going on here with discount stores like Ross right now, where Ross and Amazon and Kids Warehouse right now. I mean, it's kind of an interesting state of affairs. It might have something to do with, and I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, were they still overproducing a lot of figures at one point, and this is the overstock? I mean, it's just crazy to see, or maybe it's just distribution of retail stores not putting stuff out there like Walmart and Target, where you're seeing Star Killer, and I know that's a repack, but it was a popular character. You're seeing so many of the Jabba Goons, right? The Woof, Yak Face, Nitko, and Barada, or I'm sorry, Kathaba. I mean, there and way other, all other figures, right? Like, there's some newer stuff in there. What else is in there? Anyway, I think we got to be especially mindful right now with.
Did you mention Hunter?
Yeah, Hunter was there. Thank you.
That
was the one.
Hunter's in Ross. I saw him. Yeah.
Yeah. So
not that I go to Ross, but I've seen images.
Yeah.
But some of the hottest TVC1 figures were dumped literally in wheelbarrows at Five Below. So it's just Dagobah Luke, the I can't think of Fyax Search came to me there at the last second. These are dumped in wheelbarrows at Five Below. So that stuff is always like the woes with the distribution pipeline. I mean, again, it's something that's very frustrating. We look at that. A lot of the Walmart 096 figures got dumped at Ross too. The Death Star Gunner, obviously not the Stormtrooper, but those figures got dumped at Ross. And it's so frustrating because I'm sure the Walmart analysis looks at their, whoever's doing it says, not a single in-store sale for these figures. They're terrible. No more TVC exclusives. Oh, they don't know that none of them actually showed up in store. They never were distributed to the stores. Not a single store report other than people returning the online orders because they came on beat up cards. No, not a single store report of those actually being found in store. But that's, the vice we get caught in. When it gets to the mile high analytical level, it says, oh, this is a terrible seller. Yeah, it's because you didn't put it in your stores. That's why it was a terrible seller.
Mm. Yeah. The Entertainer here in the UK's got the two Besman guards of those.
Yeah.
£4 each. And there's 160 Entertainer stores across the country, and they all look the same. They've all got like pegs and pegs of figure in Dan's and those two, and then you can go even further back to what did they have? Might have had a few Velsathas in there.
Figure in Dan might be a figure worth picking up. Right now.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did do that. Yeah.
I mean the
So
Reaver. Yeah, thank you, Daniel. Reaver.
Yeah.
There's lots
Obi-Wan.
of Reavers.
Kenobi series, Obi-Wan. Oh my God. So
yeah. So
do you guys think, I'm sorry, do you think more things are going exclusive because of that? Do you think we're seeing more things? Yeah.
I just think I think the spin on that, John, is TV brick and mortar is going more conservative.
Yeah.
I think that's the spin on it, the flip side of it.
Well, I think it's smart for them to choose things too that you can put both retro or Kenner figures and modern figures into. So gets people to buy more units.
I don't know about you in your area, John, but I don't know, Tim, if you're seeing this, but there's like straight cases of Darth Vader and Din Djarin for Black Series hitting brick and mortar here. In my area, it's doing great. To me, that's something that get TVC sales numbers up. That would be a great thing to, the new Luke that's coming. The Han, that stuff. If that could have a permanent its own SKU, a permanent place, and I think it would do great.
Mm.
Great point.
So what you're saying about the Phantom Menace there, and that there was a comment I just wanted to pick out. I saw. There we go. It says yes, but it's in the Black Series. That's the complaint. So we all know that the Black Series, for whatever reason, is their little darling, I guess.
Yeah.
is a good way of explaining it. So, I guess figures can fail in that line, and it doesn't seem to.
I have to stress, there was no reason why they put much analysis into it. They're not looking at, this did well in TBS. TBS is Star Wars. TVC episode 1 failed. Don't want it in that product line. They're not going to do a deep analysis on this because it's not a money maker. Yeah, that doesn't do high volume. They're going to paint with very broad strokes. So the fact that it's in TBS from the brick and mortar perspective doesn't really matter. And just to point out, I often say Make the Mains starts with A New Hope, but it doesn't end there. To me, the number 2 priority in Make the Mains is Revenge of the Sith. I am by far not a prequel hater. Now that
Anakin would sell, and he would.
Anakin might be number 1 on my last figure standing in March Madness list coming up.
Now that those other ones have been cleared.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about over there, but over here, the Clone Wars reissues of Anakin and Obi-Wan, the ones when they're in, and he's in like his blue outfit, and Obi-Wan's in his like armor or whatever. Those 2 got reissued. And the reissues on eBay are like £50 a go,
Yeah, those are
absolutely. Yep.
So it's not necessary. Yeah. So it is character regardless of maybe which, except for the Obi-Wan series.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind another reissue of that because I don't have the photoreal one open. I can't bring myself to open my carded sample.
Of which one?
I got
you. Clone Wars Obi-Wan. I don't have an open one of that.
I got you.
Straight up for the 212th, Johnny.
Got you, bro.
Nice.
Keep accepting my mail, please.
Collectors helping collectors. Yeah, I'm going to look out for that comic pack for you, John. I think I might have one of those.
Please, thank you.
With Cammy and Fixer, isn't it? They're the 2.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, it's been good to talk to you as always, and always like the insight with you, Chris. Don't hold back.
Had a couple of bowls of loudmouth soup, so loosens me up a little bit.
But obviously, like most of the people that collect TVC kind of understand the struggle, right? That we're in, and we're having to fight for it seems like we're having to fight for everything, and a successful HASLAB helps. So we're obviously going to be wanting it to succeed, not only because we want it, the item itself, but because of what it means after that, hopefully, you know.
Successful HASLabs will put TVC on a much more equal footing with TBS. I promise you. It could actually turn the corner for TVC because it's not just the HASLab, it's the ecosystem around it. We just saw it. We got, again, 3 100% newly tooled figures pipelined. That's like a quarter of a year. We just got pipelined in one shot because it's the ecosystem around the HASLab. Successful HASLabs will turn the corner for TVC. I promise you. So if you love TVC, back the cantina, back the bar.
Back the bar, baby. Can you say one shot one more time, please?
Who?
One shot. I like that. I like
that. Because you got it in my head, John. I'm not gonna. It's like if I know.
Amen.
If I know I'm gonna butcher quarter, I'm gonna say quarter correctly. If you put it in my head, I'm never gonna say it incorrectly. If I'm just off the top of of course I'm gonna say quarter. Get a quarter, Johnny?
Can I just say that I cannot wait to see Luke Farnboy. I just, we've talked about this for so long, like what they can do with that after we've got that one, like the amount of different things.
Oh, yeah.
I saw a brilliant, talking about 3D printing and stuff like that, Ian Butler, I saw his Facebook post today, and he had the inside of the Falcon, the seat and the chessboard, the seat where Han sits. And I just thought to myself, oh my God, we're going to have brand new Han. If only we could have a C-3PO, but like, then we need the Luke with the mask, and things like that. It needs to come after that,
If there was ever a figure where I would not begrudge the deluxe figure that came right after the mainline figure, it's that Luke. Give me the regular Luke on the card. Give me the deluxe one with the floppy hat, the poncho, the blast shield. All those accessories. I don't care if it's in a box because I'm going to buy 3 or 4 of them to rip open with all those accessories. Just give it to me.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. It's going to be good. We've been talking about the mains for so long now, and they're happening. So yeah, that is good.
And again, we all, everybody in the comments, us all, we got to make sure that message gets out that the mains are coming, because I think not a lot of people watch the stream are just going off of the HASLab page and the images. Don't know that they're coming as part of this. So again, I'm going to dedicate an article next week to it, that these things are coming. Cool. We need to make sure everybody who didn't watch stream knows that a pretty massive announcement was made. Stop it, Johnny. I don't know how it got to you faster than me.
I had to give mine back.
Oh no.
I need it again. I need it again.
Well said, guys. Well said.
That's just mean, Tim. They made you give it back. That's mean. That's wrong.
So it's the card. The back of the card had one of those prototype like Hasbro tracking numbers on it. I didn't even want to open it. Like
Hasbro, if you're listening, that's mean. Let Tim keep it next time.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We just wanted to sort of talk about the HASLab that's been announced and go through the images and just give our opinions on it. I personally think it looks great. Cannot wait to get it. I want it to back because I want it to be in one of these cabinets with all of the figures. I'm looking forward to that. And then I'm also looking forward to all the other stuff that's going to come with it, including the mainline figures, or the main figures rather. That's next year's going to be a good year, because that's it will drop next year with all that stuff. So thanks everybody. Thanks, Chris. Where can everybody find you?
As I always say, right there, take out the space, put a comma on the end, and there you're there.
Back to skull.com. And John, where can everyone find you?
Yep. Star Wars, the Vintage Collection Facebook group, and At the Far Side of Endor on Instagram. Thanks for having me, guys.
And where else?
JohnMiko.com.
There you go. No, cheers, guys. I appreciate you coming on. It's been great. And thank you to everybody that's been watching. We've still got 341 people listening to us waffle on. So thank you all for joining us. That's been great. And we'll do another one of these soon. Hopefully, there'll be some more reveals to talk about soon. Hopefully.
And I'll just reiterate, if you don't back the Cantina, you're going to be sorry. When everything else that goes with it gets announced, you're going to be sorry.
Can you write an article soon just says, if you don't back the Cantina, you'll be sorry. That's all.
So for the barge, I literally, for the entire between Brett and I, was an article a day, and I will do that for the Cantina if I have to. An article a day for the Cantina.
Brilliant, guys. Cheers, guys. Thanks for everyone in the chat watching. Thank you for everyone that dropped a super chat. I really appreciate it as we're going along. Apologize that I can't get to everybody's comments because there's a lot of comments going through, but I appreciate you sticking with us and what have you. So thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.
Back the bar.